Namaste today, my friends, and positive energy being sent out your guys' way. Winged Wolf Night coming at you today, and as you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful day, guys. But I'm on here today to talk about the sacred geometry and synchronicity. Now, this has taken me a little bit longer than I wanted it to find all the information for this video that I have, but here I am, so here we go. So, first things first, guys, is the sacred geometry is a series of geometric shapes with deeper metaphysical meanings. Sacred geometry is just one component in a vast concept of synchronicity. A synchronicity between nature, science, music, math, art, and finally the physical world, guys. Meaning that everything around us is all connected in some way, shape, or form. At least that's how I perceive it. So, and I've talked about this for quite a little bit now with my family. I've talked to them a little bit about the sacred geometry and what it means to me. And now I'm explaining it a little bit further and more in depth. So, like I said, it's the connection between all things, and this is formed by a representation of 13 spheres whose centers are joined by precise lines. The connection points of these lines make the three-dimensional representation of the 5 perfect solids, or Plato solids, possible. And these 5 solids are the cube, the tetrahedron, the icosahedron, the dodecahedron, and finally the octahedron. Sacred geometry may also be understood or perceived as a worldview of pattern recognition, guys, or a complex system of pattern recognition of a complex system of symbols and instructions involving space, time, and form. Form is in like a physical form. At least that's how I'm understanding it. And I found that a little bit interesting because that helped me to put words to thoughts that I've had that I couldn't quite figure out how to communicate with others. So that was really helpful for me. And the sacred geometry may also, like I said, be understood as the view of pattern recognition structures involving space-time form. The basic patterns of existence are perceived as sacred. You can feel the vibration of peace, love, compassion, stillness, and balance. I've come to find that out through meditation. I've been doing a lot more meditation these days, guys, as some of you know that have been following me. And it has really helped me to learn and understand some of the questions that I've had that I couldn't figure out on my own at that moment, but I've now figured out. But that's for a different day. Anyway, commonly known as just simply connection, guys. That's the most common way to put it, is just the connection to all of us. Sacred geometry has the ability, however, the sacred geometry has the ability to tap into this awareness to shift how we feel. And it allows us to ground ourselves and to create a deeper connection to our own love and to our own place in the universe. An example of synchronicity, like I said, this video on both synchronicity and the sacred geometry, and that was the bit of information I found so far in the sacred geometry, and I'm moving on to the synchronicity part. An example of synchronicity is an alignment of not casually, guys, but causally, unrelated events rather mysteriously related by meaning. Often synchronicities involve numbers as indicators of metaphysical activity or cosmic meaning. And, yeah, pretty deep there, at least I think. But, had to flip my page in my journal real quick. Like I said, guys, in some of my videos, I write my information down that I get, because I don't have the greatest short-term memory. But, getting back to where I left on the other page there, guys, or cosmic meaning, is almost as if a message is being conveyed to you by a higher power or your higher conscience. Something that is happening so frequently that it can't be explained or written off as pure coincidence or chance. Also known as meaningful coincidence. And I found that quite interesting. But I'm going to be learning more about that particular topic, and I'm going to learn as much as I can about it, meditate on it. I'm just going to figure out more on that because I'm really curious on what that information is going to lead me to, knowing that. And some examples, guys, of synchronicities, as in numeric patterns, synchronicities, is everybody knows 1111, the number of the universal wake-up call. And what that means, guys, that some of you don't know, the universal wake-up call might not be what you think. It's the universal wake-up call for our higher conscience. It's a time for us to open our minds to start learning what we've long lost, guys, in the ancient knowledge that we once possessed. So, I seen 1111 a lot when I was a little bit younger, and that was something that I every day was seeing multiple times a day. I got curious, but I can never find information on what that was. I just felt like it had some kind of meaning, or was meant for me to learn something out of it. So, over the years, I kept studying, and I kept seeing it more and more. I started learning a bit more as I opened my mind further. Anyway, on to the next example of a numeric synchronicity that is a big sign that you're waking up consciously, guys, is the number 222. And what 222 is, guys, is that is the number of relationships and new beginnings. So, if you're seeing a lot of 222 in your everyday life, it might be time for you guys to start a new beginning, or you might be getting ready to be into a relationship that might be out of nowhere. It might have been something that's been being worked on for a long time. I don't know. But if you see 222 very, very often or very frequently, that could be a number of you're about to be in a relationship, or there's a new beginning getting ready to start in your path and in the chapter of your own book. A little metaphor there. Now, the third example of a numeric synchronicity, and this is one that I see quite often, and I'm glad I do now that I know what it actually means. And what this number is 333. Now, everybody should be familiar with 333, especially the Christian background, because 333, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Well, 333 is the number of protection. So, if you're seeing 333 very frequently, guys, just know that you're being protected, and it is not something that you should be afraid of, necessarily. Just know that you are being looked out for by a higher power, or a higher conscious, or your angels or spirit guides, guys, because if you're seeing 333 a lot, you're being protected. The fourth and final numeric synchronicity example for this video, anyway. I might do more in a later video, I don't know yet. Don't hold me to that. But the final one that I'm going to do for this, to end this video, the number 444. And what the number 444 is, if you see that a lot in your life right now, that is the number of being surrounded by your angels or your spirit guides, guys. So, if you're seeing a lot of 444, you might want to try meditating, or you might want to do a prayer, or, whatever rituals that you have. Everybody each their own. I have my own way of doing things, just like everybody else does. We're all unique. It's what makes us all special. But if you see 444 frequently in your life, it means that you are being surrounded by your angels and your spirit guides. So if you see that a lot, guys, just know to take comfort, and that it might be time for you to start reaching out and trying to figure out answers from them. And on that, I'm going to cut this video. If you like this video, make sure to recommend it to other viewers. And have a good day. Wingwolf Night out.